So now everyone should be able to see the Lightspeed Trader platform. This is a demo version, so it's going to be something similar to what you would get if you ask for a live demo. You have to get a live demo directly from a sales rep, from me or one of the other salespeople here. Another question that came in asks, is there an increased buying power option? If you have $25,000 or more in your account, you get 4-to-1 leverage. If you're a qualified investor, you can possibly open a portfolio margin account, which is 6.6-to-1 leverage. The leverage is the same for all customers. We are regulated by the SEC and FINRA, so everything is the same for everyone. You're opening a U.S. account, so U.S. rules apply. All right, so our topic today is hotkeys and hot buttons. Now I want to go through hotkeys from the beginning, and hot buttons are really just an extension of hotkeys. So basically you set up a hotkey first, and then you can link it to a button so that when you click the button, it initiates that specific hotkey. So to start out, on any window, if you click on this little wheel, you get the configuration window pop up. And then there's multiple different tabs in here that traders use to set up their hotkeys and their preferences. And we're going to excuse me, we're going to start with some of the basics and then move on to some of the more advanced. So the first basic window that you set up when you're setting up a hotkey or your order entry for any point is tier sizes. So on the right-hand side here, it says tier changers. I have checked off use numpad to change the tier, and then each one of these boxes is checked off. I have 0 set for 1,000 shares, 1 for 100, 2 for 200, 3 for 300, and so forth. When you're setting up your hotkeys, you might want to set them up so that you can change the number of shares that you're sending very quickly when entering an order. And to do that, you set up these tiers. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that makes it real easy to change the size of any order. Now on my system, I have it set up so that if I hit Shift-T, it automatically brings up that window. So that's a keyboard function that I already have set up. So tier size orders. This drop down here, you have all different kinds of hotkeys that you can set up. Right now we're looking at tier size orders. And if you scroll through, you'll see the one that I've set up so that it pops that up each time. The sound is on Edito, so if here, I'm going to type him in a response here. Hopefully he can hear me. Another question, specific questions are coming in about hotkeys, so I'm going to go through the specific material that I have, and then we'll go back and answer some of the questions that people have. Another function hotkey that I have set up is Shift-O. That brings up the order pop-up. Now this order pop-up is very essential to when you're setting up a hotkey. So you click on the wheel, you go to the order pop-up tab, and here this is where you can set increments to change orders when you're using hotkeys. So if you look here under price, I have the left and right arrow. If I use the left and right arrow on my keyboard, it's going to change the price by a penny. Shift left and right is going to change the price of my order by a nickel. Control left and right is going to change my order by 10 cents. And then I have Alt left is going to change my order by 50 cents. Now when you're sending an order, you might also want to change the number of shares. I have the caret keys. If I press a caret key, it's going to change my shares by 100. Shift caret 500, and Control caret is going to move it by 1,000, and then Alt is going to move it by 50. Now this becomes a little more important when we use hotkeys and a pop-up, and we'll show you how that is used shortly. So once you have your tier sizes set up, you have your order pop-up set up the way that you want it. I have a little cheat sheet, with all of these things written down in case I forget them. But these are the prime functions that you're going to use when you use a hotkey to change a specific order. So once the tiers are set up, once the order pop-up is set up, then you can start setting up a hotkey. Now the main hotkey that I use is custom orders. So you go to the wheel, you click on the custom orders tab, and we're going to create a new command right now. So we leave it on custom, hit create new command. Now the first thing you do is give it a name. So we'll just call this Joe buy. On the side, we're going to choose buy, obviously. The market, you're going to type in the exchange that you want to use. So I'm going to type in ARCA. Now these checkboxes are for specific order types. Most people don't use these ever. Non-route, add only, on open, on close. So we're going to ignore that. Display, that is important. Do you want your order displayed on the level 2 screen and in the market or not? I just choose visible. My orders aren't really going to make a difference in the market, so I choose visible, but you can choose hidden if you'd like. Now the through, we're going to use that through section when we set up a hotkey for stops. So we'll go through that later. We're not going to set up a stop now. Order size. So when you have a position to close, I typically want to choose closeout. So if I'm long 500 shares of SPY and I go to sell, it's going to automatically send the order with the size that I have, the position size that I have. So if I have 500, it's going to send an order to close out the full position. Now you can choose anything that you want. You can choose up to tier, half the position, quarter the position, and so forth. The other order size that's important is if you don't have a position to close, what do you want it to do? Do you want it to default to one of your tiers, 1, 2, 3, or a specific quantity? Do you want it to default to, say, 100 shares? Now, this section here, pop-up, confirm, that's an order entry pop-up or a confirmation. If you check no, as soon as you hit the hotkey, the order is going to go live and be sent to the market immediately. If you choose yes, a pop-up is going to come up. I'm going to leave the pop-up for this presentation just so you can see how it works. And then this section here, day, that's the amount of time that you want the order to stay live. You can set up the order to stay live for a minute if you want, or 30 seconds. Right now it's set until 8 o'clock, so that's till the end of the post-market trading day. So I'm just going to leave it at that for now. All right, so now I'm going to click Map Key Now. So this Joe Buy, I'm going to put, you can choose anything that you want. The S stands for Shift, the C stands for Control, the A stands for Alt. So if I choose Shift 0, it's going to link my Joe Buy order to Shift Shift 0. So I'm going to map that. Now it's mapped, and click OK. So now I'm on SPY here. If I click Shift 0, it pops up my order right here. I don't know, you might not be able to see that. It's kind of small. But it says bid 100 SPY at 241.71. And the route that I chose was ARCA. Now with this pop-up, you can now go back and use your keys on your keyboard to change this order. So my left and right key, I don't know if you can see the price changing, but as I use my left and right arrow key, it's changing the price. You see right here as it changes the price. Up and down. Up and down arrows change the order route. So you can see IEX, ARCA, NASDAQ, EDGE. Up and down arrow keys change the order route. And now my tier sizes for the number of shares. If you see right here it says bid 100 SPY. Now I can use my numbers pad to change that. So if I hit the 2, it changes my share quantity to 2. You know, if I hit 0, bump up to 1,000. If I hit 5, it changes it to 500. So I'm going to send this order out. This is just a demo server. It gets filled right away. So I'm going to place an order to buy at 241.72. All I have to do is hit enter, and the order goes live. You immediately see the order pop up in the orders window. Here in the messages, it says opening order 500 SPY, 241.70, and we bought it. All right, I see a few questions that have come in. I'll try to go back through and answer them. What is the difference between bid and primary bid? Bid means you're bidding on the order route that you choose. Primary bid means that you're bidding for it on the primary exchange that the security is listed. So if it's listed on ARCA, it'll bid on ARCA. If it's listed on NASDAQ, it'll bid on NASDAQ. Someone asks, is it possible to place orders in lot sizes that are not increments of 100? Yes, you can place orders in any increment you want. Does anyone else have questions on the material I've covered so far? All right, so I'm going to pull up the hotkeys, the basic hotkeys that I have set up. So if you go to the wheel in the main Lightspeed Trader window, it pops up your setup screen. Go to Custom Orders, and then I have these 5 or 6 hotkeys set up already. So we'll look at just a simple buy bid, which is similar to what we set up before. I named it buy-bid. The side is clearly buy. Market is ARCA. I have visible. Close out full position. Without position to close, I have tier 1. Pop-up confirm, I have yes, and it's good for the day. Now if you want to place a stop order, so I've labeled mine buy stop -25. The side, we have a buy stop, so let's talk about a sell stop. Most people are probably more interested in a sell stop, so we'll look at the sell stop. So if you're long 500 shares of SPY, you want to set a stop 25 cents below the current bid. This is how you would do it. The side you're going to have sell. Now the market, this is where you put in stop. So the system understands that it's a stop order. Display, I always use visible. And then this is where you put your stop in. You put through 25 cents. So we're going to sell through the bid at 25 cents when you're selling. Now if we were buying, it would be the opposite. It would be, you would choose ask and you still leave it at 25 cents. But since we are selling, we're selling through the bid on a sell stop. That's how we have it set up. With position to close, I always have closeout. I'm selling my entire position if it hits my stop. You might decide that you want a half, quarter, or something else. I always have the pop-up confirm. The pop-up confirm shows you hit the enter key, the order goes live immediately. So I'm going to hit buy at bid. I have it saved as Control B. I don't know if you can see it, but this is what pops up here. It's right here. It says bid 100 SPY 241.59. If I want to change the price, I click the left and right arrow. Say I want to buy 1,000. I'm going to hit the 0 on my numpad. I'm going to leave it on ARCA, and I hit enter. Oh, I'm exceeding my buying power. We'll have to change the volume, so we'll do Control B. We'll only do 200 shares. Hit enter. The order goes. Now you can see my positions. I have 700 SPY. I want to place a sell stop. I have sell stop as Shift F. This is the confirm that pops up. Notice the price is 25 cents through the bid. Hit enter. And because I'm on a demo, it executes right away. It closed out the position, but on the live platform, it's going to put out a stop order that's going to be executed once it hits your price. Here's a good question. Someone asks, on the sell stop, wouldn't it be more beneficial to have it be hidden so that they don't drive the price down to activate your stops, or is that only on smaller ones? These stops are not held at the exchange, so nobody sees your stop order. Okay, I have a good question. So someone says, let's say you're long 1,000 shares and you want to set a 25-cent profit target. How would you go about doing that? And that's a really common hotkey. So I'm going to lead you through it right now. Click on the wheel. We go to Custom Orders. We're going to create a new command. We're going to call it sell. We'll just say TGT for target, and then 25. So on the side, we're going to click sell. The market, I'm just going to choose ARCA. Now this might be a case. This would be a case where you want your order to be hidden, because if I have this order visible, it will show up on the system. It will show up on a level 2 screen and people will see this order. So when you're putting a target out there, you might want it to be hidden, because in this instance, you know, a regular limit order is going to be seen. So we're going to put it through 25 cents, and it's going to go through the ask at 25 cents. We're going to choose closeout full position. We'll do the pop-up and click OK. Oh, I forgot. We've got to map the key. So we'll just call this Control 0, cell TGT 25, and we're going to map it to C0 and click OK. I'm just going to change the stock so I don't go through my buying power, but spiders are actually trading, so we'll leave them up. So we're going to hit Control B. This pops up my bid. I'm bidding for 100 shares at the current bid. I'm going to increase the price by a penny, and I'm going to increase the share size to 200. Send it on ARCA. It goes. Gets executed. I'm long 200 shares. Now we want to put the target out there. What did I do? I did Control 0, I believe. That didn't work. Let's see. Yeah, you know, the best way to do it. All right, so we have this order. Let's see. So we're going to hit Control 0, and then the price pops up at the current ask. The best thing to do is to then change your price with the right and left arrows. Now you can set a spin increment of 25 cents. So we're going to cancel out of this. And if you were here in the beginning when I was talking about the order pop-up, that's where this would change it. So if right now I have the left and right arrow to change my price by a penny. The control left and right, I have it 10 cents. We could change that to, say, 25 cents, right? Hit OK. So now if I hit Control 0, and then the Control right button, it immediately adds 25 cents to my order. So you notice the bid is 241.52. It's going to send my order at 241.77. Just hit enter and it goes live. So Dennis is saying if I use a negative number, it's going to go live at the right price. So let's try that. Yeah. So if you change the through amount to a negative amount, it's going to set your target at the exact price that you want. So you could set up different hotkeys for different price amounts. So to go through that again, the sell target at 25 cents, if you put through the ask at negative 25, it's going to make a target that's 25 cents away from the current ask. Adrian asks if this will be available for replay. Yes, this is being recorded, and it will be available on our website. I'm just going to read through a couple of questions here and see if we can answer some of them. Brad asks, am I correct in saying I cannot have a profit target and sell stop live at the same time? That is correct. You can only have one sell order available at one time for the same position. Now, if you have enough buying power, you could have two separate orders that are live. You can have a target, to close out your position, but then you can also have a sell short, but you run the risk of both orders being executed. All right, let's see. All right, so someone asks, how do you set a cover stop when you're short a stock? It's just the exact opposite of what we just did, but I'll go through it anyway. So if you're short, you click on the wheel, we go to custom orders. We're going to go to create new command. We're going to go, we're going to call it buy stop. Clearly on the side you leave bid, market, you type in stop, and say you put in 0.25 as the through amount, or whatever number you want. It doesn't have to be 25 cents. So it's going to go through the bid at 0.25. Order size, we do closeout. I always like to pop up confirm, so we'll just have that pop up. We're going to go to map key now. We're going to do Alt 0 for our buy stop. I'm going to map it. Click OK. All right, so we're going to sell short 200 spiders. Oh, it looks like I must have had a position. Let me close this out. All right, so we're at 0. All right, so now I'm short 200 spiders. I forgot what I did. Let's see. Buy stop, edit. Alt A. So now I just hit Alt A. Should pop up. I don't know what I did wrong, but let's see. I'm sorry. Alt 0. That's why it's not working. Now I have an order. It says stop bid 200 SPY at 241.79. So if I'm short the 200 shares at 241.54, if it pops up to 241.79, it's going to buy it back on my stop. So if I hit enter, it just executes immediately on the demo. See a question. How do you set the market maker field to default to any other than LSPT? I guess you're just saying that on a normal order entry window, because on the hotkeys you can set it up directly. You know, I don't know how to get it to default to that. I know that you know, these are the markets available. I don't know how to get it to default to another one. That's a good question. If you email me, my email is jely@lightspeed.com. I can see if I can get an answer to your question. But if you send it out, email it jely, and I'll see what I can find out for you. Someone's asking about OCO orders and bracket orders. There really is no good way to enter OCO and bracket orders on the system. I mean, there is a way to backdoor into a bracket order or an OCO, but it's not something that's very easily taught on a webinar. Someone has a question. Can we set multiple profit targets? Let's say 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. You know, for half quarter and quarter of the position. You could absolutely do that. It just takes the time to set up the custom orders so that you know exactly which hotkey sends what. But you can definitely set up 3 orders. You know, if you're long 1,000 shares and you want to sell half at a 10-cent profit, a quarter at a 20-cent profit, and a quarter at a 30-cent profit, that definitely can be done. Someone's asking about the IEXL route. Why don't we see it? I know we have the IEX route. I don't know what IEXL stands for. But again, if it's something that I don't know, send me an email, jely@lightspeed.com. I'll see if I can find the answer for you. So here's a good question. Someone says no matter which exchange you direct to, it will still default to the 2 best bid-ask, right? All of the market centers are required to send your order out to the best bid, best ask if they don't have any shares at that price. So if you route an order on ARCA and the best bid is NASDAQ, ARCA is going to immediately send it to NASDAQ to get the order filled. So, you know, it's fairly efficient, but, you know, if you route on ARCA, you pay the fee to use ARCA. Yeah. Mario, the IEX route that you're asking about, it is available. If you don't see it, you can email support@lightspeed.com, and we can get it set up for you. So some of the other function keys that I wanted to cover, they're keyboard non-trading function keys, hotkeys. I'm going to go through those quickly and then show how to set up a hot button. So the non-trading function keys, if you click on the wheel here, go to keyboard, and under keyboard you have this drop down here, custom commands. I mean, that's where you set up most of your regular hotkeys, so to speak. But then there's non-function, non-trading hotkeys. So I have a few set up. Next symbol, previous symbol. I have Shift 1 and Control 1. So if you're on a level 2, if I hit Shift 1 and Control 1, what it does is it scans through the stocks that I've been looking at. So I just put in Spiders GM, put in QQQ, put in Apple. So if I do Shift 1 and Control 1, it goes through the previous symbols that I've had in there. So now, I went one way up and down, Shift 1 and Control 1. There's no non-trading function keys. Another non-trading function key that I like, that I use, let's see, is the news. You can have custom commands set up to link to external news sources. So here you see I have Shift-N, Control-N, and Alt-N set up for different news sources. So if I hit Shift-N, it launches Yahoo News for the symbol in my level 2 screen. So I have AA in my level 2, and it just popped up. Now if I hit Control-N, I have that linked, I guess, just to Google. Alt-N, let's see. Well, I had them set up for 3 different news services, but it looks like only Yahoo's there now. But you can set it up to, multiple different services so that it draws the symbol that you're looking at, and it's pretty pretty functional. Other access keys that I have. So if you choose access keys, there's a lot of different things that you can do. I have function keys set up to different pages. So if you have 3, 4, 5 different pages that you use on a regular basis, you can have those pages linked directly to a hotkey. So I have F1, F2, F3, F4 set up. Let's see. I don't know what. I don't want to press them now. I don't want it to start loading another page. But if I hit F2, it's going to load my page number 2. So hot buttons. So if you just go to New, Hot Buttons, it launches this window right here. And I have 6 hot buttons set up. If you right-click on that window, you go to Add, Orders. All of the hotkeys that I set up previously can be added to my hot buttons window. So any, here there's the cell TGT25. If I click on that, click Add, it adds that hotkey to my hot buttons window. So every single hotkey that you have set up, you can put on here as a hot button. I see a few questions here. Dennis asks, are you able to change the menu of the right mouse click or change the value increment? Yeah, you can change the value of the increment and decrement. I covered that earlier. That's in the order pop-up. So if you open up the functions window, you go to order pop-up. This is where you change the price, with the shift left and right arrow, just the left and right arrow, control left or right arrow, you can change that. I guess he's asking when you right-click on an order. I don't know of a way to do that directly in the system. So let's try. All right, so I have an order out there to buy. You want to change the order on the messages window? Here we go. On the orders window, you can increment and decrement by 1 penny. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's available. I think it would be in the section right here. Someone asked a question, how do you set Lightspeed platform back to default? We could do that for you here. If you haven't saved the default page, if you've overwritten the default page, you probably have to get us to do it. If you call into our office, someone here can help you with that. I see a few questions coming in that are specific to things that might be a little bit out of the normal. If you have anything specific that's more than what we've covered, you can email me at jely@lightspeed.com, and I can see if I can get an answer to your question. But when you have a specific question about a specific feature, there's a lot of features available in the platform that not everyone's aware of. So if you have a question that hasn't been answered, definitely email me, and we can see if we can get an answer for you. That's really all I had as far as material to cover tonight. I hope there is something in this presentation that is going to help you out. Hope you learned something. Again, if you have questions related to a specific function or specific feature in the platform, just contact us and we'll help you out. I appreciate everyone's time and look forward to seeing you in the next webinar. I'll stay in the room for the next couple of minutes and hopefully try to answer some questions that come through privately, but this concludes the webinar. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much.